All right, and that's charging and all. All right, what's crack on? Welcome back to the Arcade Pain. We are back, and we are back to have the Mortal Kombat chats. We got the man, the myth, the legend back, Mr. Daniel William Clark. What's the crack?
There, Arcane. Hello there, Arcane Pain. Thank you very much for having me back, my friend.
You are most welcome, and you're always welcome back. And Daniel, something big happened today.
Yeah, it did. Oh man, what was it here? There was something big that happened.
There was.
I know. I just found out that my corner grocery store is having a great sale on cakes. No, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. Oh, that was something, but there was something else going on. Oh, I know what it was.
Oh, yeah?
There was a little trailer that premiered today from a certain favorite video game franchise of ours.
Really? What video game would that be?
Well, it turns out that there is a brand new trailer from a little game series called... Oh, wait a second. Let me do this right here. Let me do this Grandmaster style here. There's a trailer that has to do with a particular favorite video game franchise that we and many others love very much. It's called Mortal Kombat.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yes, guys, Mortal Kombat 1 was what it's officially named. The announcement trailer dropped today. For me, it was 2 p.m. I think for you, it was about 10 o'clock in the morning, was it?
Yeah, about 10 o'clock in the morning for me, or no, 6 o'clock Pacific time, so 9 o'clock in the morning for me, yeah.
And, so what we're going to do is we're going to run through the trailer real quick. We're going to give our impressions. We're going to talk about Mortal Kombat 1 first before we do anything, and then we will go into our chats, because we've done the merch, we've done the TV shows, we've done the movies. We're now here to talk about the games, the main sugar on the ice cream, as they say, with the Mortal Kombat series. So, you can still see what I'm seeing here now, can't you?
Yes, I see you, I see the trailer, and I see me.
Grand. I'm sure you've seen the trailer already anyway, so
yeah.
You know, so
well, yeah. I said, let me watch it again. Let me try one more time. You know what? Let's do it one more time. Encore for the encore.
Danny boy, we'll get into that in just a hot second, alright? I'll let you know what he said after the trailer. First, let's watch the trailer.
Oh, hey, Danny boy. Alright, here we go.
It is time.
Oh, it's time. You got this sound and all, yeah?
I don't actually.
Oh, really? No? Oh,
time to wake up.
Oh, no. Hang on. Oh, I think I know why.
Mortal Kombat 1, the Silent Edition.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like the thing going on again. Okay, so stop that for a second, and there it is again. And I think is there a way to include audio? Pretty sure I thought it was a thing for include audio. Sound may not be available when sharing a screen on your device. Oh, that sucks.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right, we'll just do applications, so.
Okay.
And then we'll just change it as it goes along.
Okay, sure.
All right, back to the thing. Are we moving? We're still moving. All right, you're moving too. All right, cool. Back into it. So let's go.
To a new reality.
I'm there. Okay, cool.
To a blank canvas that I have painted in with warmth and peace. In my new era,
but,
choice is yours. Whether to live in quiet
You can definitely see the jump from the Unreals.
Or bloody strife.
Here we go. Could you put it back? It took a bit of a delay for me.
Oh, was it?
To dwell in joyous prosperity.
I could definitely hear it now.
Or bitter rivalry. You can face each other as sworn enemies.
There they are.
Or united as brothers. But a storm is brewing. And soon you will discover
there he is.
That even in this new era, one constant remains.
Oh my
There is
God.
always something worth fighting for.
It's a little
You
bit
have
violent.
chosen to defy peace. Then you have chosen war with a god.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
This is so cool. Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
It's in our blood, September 19th. 4 months. Peter Downey,
Yeah.
Shang Tsung.
Yeah, there he is. Shang Tsung pulled himself back together for that last little appearance right there.
I know, right? Honestly.
It's like,
Okay, so
I hate when Liu Kang does that.
like it's an interesting trailer to behold right now. Like it's literally just a cinematic trailer, and there's a lot of there's a lot of questions that come to mind, basically, really. So like Danny Boy's little his comment there was talking about like why the hell is Shang Tsung a pre-order exclusive? Well, in the way they've done it now, so for MKX was Goro, in MK11 there was Shao Kahn. So if they're going all the way back to the original like MK1 era again, you have to remember Shang Tsung was never playable back in the original Mortal Kombat. And if he is the big bad again for this one now, which is an interesting choice, that's purely why he's pre-order beta exclusive. Which remains to, it leaves the option again to say, thankfully a lot of the other characters won't be pre-order, so they'll be in the game ready to rock and roll, and then others will be DLC. But it remains to see like what sort of characters they're going to choose for Mortal Kombat 1. Do you know sort of way? And it's very interesting because this is meant to be Liu Kang's new universe, really, isn't that right? So why is Shang Tsung here? Is Liu Kang such a kind-hearted soul that he didn't want to exterminate anyone from the timeline, and he gave Shang Tsung a chance to be a good person in this one? And then he just goes back down his evil ways, because you have to remember, like during that whole thing, it just says like, in my new era, you have a choice to be good or bad. Now, is he talking to us, or is he talking just to the characters in general? And then, as you saw, Shang Tsung was the one to perform all those fatalities on all the characters in the trailer, and then Liu Kang ended up killing him, saying basically, okay, you've broken peace, now you go into war with a god, and he killed him. So it's a very interesting concept in a lot of ways, and as well, someone pointed out as well, saying like, why is Mileena there? Because surely Mileena was only ever created by Shang Tsung in the flesh pits because Shao Kahn told him to, because Kitana wasn't being the best daughter. Now Kitana and Mileena are still there. It still begs the question: is Shao Kahn still there? Has a lot of stuff still kind of gone about the same way, even though it's Liu Kang's vision of the world? Like, I kind of thought myself, yeah, grand, we're going to go back to the very first time Mortal Kombat, like, was ever... I was thinking it was going to go back to the very first Mortal Kombat tournament ever with Great Kung Lao and all. And then I was thinking maybe some stuff never happened. Like, maybe Shao Kahn never overthrew Onaga, so now Onaga's the big bad guy, and then that's how they'd spin that and stuff like that. But no, it just seems to be that it's going to be Shang Tsung again. Mileena's there, but is she evil? Like, she seemed to be just sitting in the carriage with Kitana and not really doing much. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of stuff. It does say as well, see your characters like you've never seen them before. So it begs the question that is a lot of these characters going to be like on the good side or on the bad side, or is it going to be our personal choice through the story whether to bring them down the good path or the bad path? I don't know. What do you think?
That last thing you said right there, that's a really interesting concept for the game, like a story mode where you could essentially choose what path you want the characters to go down, so that you have a different experience every time you play. Like there's been a lot of games out there, like I could think of games that kind of let you choose your own destiny for the characters, like the Knights of the Old Republic Star Wars games let you do that. Do you want to be on the light side? Do you want to be on the dark side? You're playing as the same characters there, but the choices you make are going to be what shape the destiny of your characters. So I suppose if that is what they have in mind right there, it would be pretty interesting to see what would happen if like let's say okay, you've got Liu Kang, and he's trained Kung Lao here, and then now here comes Shang Tsung, and like are they going to go through? Are they going to do story mode progression like where we've seen in the past games, where okay, it's not going to focus on just one character, it's going to go okay, chapter one Liu Kang, chapter two Kung Lao, chapter three Shang Tsung, and so on and so forth. And if so, maybe like you get to make choices along the way, or is it going to be more like conquest based, where you it's not necessarily broken down by chapters, but at certain stages you might play as certain characters, something like that, and then like you choose, choice A is a light side choice, if you will, whereas choice B is a dark side choice. So when all's said and done, maybe you could have a sort of use a wrestling term, sort of a double turn where you have Shang Tsung as the good guy and Liu Kang as the bad guy, or something
Hmm.
like that. Which I think in one of the previous games endings, I think we kind of got a hint of. Was it MK9 or MK? I think it was MK9 where Shang Tsung he becomes a good guy. I think either Raiden or Bo' Raicho trains him, and Liu Kang has gone mad with power after beating Raiden in the one match Mortal Kombat there.
Hmm.
So that would be a pretty interesting concept to see. A sort of it would almost be like a callback to the classic "choose your destiny"
Hmm.
quote that we heard in MKs 3 and 4 right there. Now you actually get to choose your destiny and the destiny of the combatants as well. That would be
Absolutely.
pretty interesting. Yeah.
Hmm.
As far as as far as like where I think it takes place in the story, well, to be honest with you, I'm still convinced that there is a possibility that it does indeed take place before the events of the MK1 that we all know. I'm thinking there's two ways to go right here. One, it could be during the events that preceded MK1, during the Great Kung Lao's time, which would check out with all the characters that we have seen thus far, because some of them are either gods or they're many, many years old. Like Kitana is, 10,000 years old, and she looks like she's no more than 24 Earthrealm years and such. Liu Kang is a god now, so he could exist as long as he wants. The Great Kung Lao would be in his prime during this time. Raiden looked rather, human-like in this one. He didn't have the thunderous eyes or the lightning eyes. Well, why would he? Because now Liu Kang is the god of thunder and fire. But does that mean that Raiden? Oh well, wait a minute. In MK11, yeah, Fire God Liu Kang, and Raiden shows up looking ordinary right there, and he says that he's basically going to be like an advisor to him
Hmm.
and such. That was just before the aftermath chapter came in. So maybe in Liu Kang's new era, he said, "Well, Raiden is my mentor here, so I'm definitely going to bring him back." And yes, I would of course love to have Kitana in my new realm too, because Liu Kang gets to be the architect right now. He gets to create this new reality. So it stands to reason that he is going to want to bring a lot of people. Yeah, God bless you.
Yeah,
He's
obviously.
going to want to bring a lot of people that he was very fond of into the fold. Um, and like I said, a lot of them could very well exist in the time of the Great Kung Lao as well. There are a couple of question marks, and I'll get to that in just a moment, though. Option number two is that it does take place during the events of the MK1 that we all know, let's say the early 90s, right there. But the Great Kung Lao has been the champion all this time. And as we know in the lore, when you are the champion of Mortal Kombat, you're granted immortality. So it's possible that we may have already seen the great Kung Lao go up through the ranks and maintain his title as the champion. He defeated Shang Tsung. Outworld said, "All right, let's end this Goro kid after him. He'll take care of him." And in the old days, well, that is exactly what happened. But they didn't have Fire God Liu Kang coaching Kung Lao then, so Goro may have already been beaten. I'm only speculating here, but maybe
Hmm.
Goro's already been beaten. So now Outworld's like, now what do we do? I guess Earthrealm is safe or something like that. So it could take place there, which would explain how a couple of other characters may have come about too. I'll tell you something though. There is actually a way. There is actually a way. I've been thinking about this for a while. Now, in thinking about in terms of the story and including them for popularity purposes, there is still a way that you could have Sub-Zero and Scorpion be in a Mortal Kombat game that takes place in any era.
Hmm.
And like I see people wondering in terms of like Sub-Zero, is it Bi-Han? Is it Kuai Liang? Well, I'll be honest with you, Arcane Pain. I think it's an ancestor of Sub-Zero's, of Bi-Han's and Kuai Liang's, and an ancestor of Hanzo Hasashi's. Don't forget, Scorpion and Sub-Zero are code names, and we didn't even know their real names up until around maybe mythologies for Scorpion and MK9 with Sub-Zero. So it's possible that those code names of Scorpion and Sub-Zero were passed down through the generations until it eventually came to Hanzo Hasashi and Bi-Han and later Kuai Liang. So you could still have Sub-Zero and Scorpion be in any era. Which even if you look at the conquest mode in Mortal Kombat Deception, and when you're playing as the early years of Shujinko, when he's much younger and he's like a teenager, you run into a character who looks very much like MK1 era Sub-Zero right there, you know? And even in MK11, we get little sprinkles of information that Sub-Zero's grandfather, Kuai Liang, and Bi-Han's grandfather went by the moniker of Sub-Zero as well. Remember in that intro dialogue, defeat me to earn my mantle, like that. So you could, and of course this satisfies the desire just to have Scorpion and Sub-Zero be in a Mortal Kombat game as well. Because let's be perfectly honest here, I say this every time a new Mortal Kombat game is ready to be announced. Mortal Kombat game without Sub-Zero and Scorpion would be like a Street Fighter game without Ken and Ryu, or a Fatal Fury game without Andy and Terry Bogard. It would feel like something is missing. Those are your two cornerstone characters right there, and to not include them would definitely ruffle a few feathers and confuse others and things like that. So they're like the twin franchise stars of MK right there. And as far as like bringing in Shang Tsung and stuff, yeah, that I'm a little unsure about because, well, MK11's Aftermath chapter made a serious point of Liu Kang, defeating Shang Tsung, and that was like the battle that would decide the future and, by extension, the past as well. That was like the Mortal Kombat duel of the fates, if you will, right there. I love that, by the way. I love how they went full circle back to the main event of the original MK1 being the main event of MK11 Aftermath. That was beautiful. But yeah, why does Shang Tsung exist? Did he find a way to cheat the results? Is this like a variant of Shang Tsung? Or does Liu Kang say, you know what, maybe Liu Kang kind of has like a warrior's respect for Shang Tsung, that, yeah, you did threaten Earthrealm and you are my greatest enemy, but you know something? I do have an admiration of sorts for you, so I'm going to give you another chance. Kind of like an olive branch of sorts for Shang Tsung, to offer him a chance to start over with him or something like that, that type of thing. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of room for all kinds of different directions you could go in with this one, I feel.
Yes, I've seen a comment, someone thinking maybe that it's like both endings like kind of combining in a way, like Shang Tsung's ending and Liu Kang's ending at the end of MK11 kind of combining. But no, I don't think so, really, because otherwise, like, he's not a Titan. He doesn't look like a Titan. He just still kind of looks like Shang Tsung in a way, really. What's Danny? Danny saying, is that not, if that's not a fatality in the game, then this game sucks already. He's obviously talking about the ending, the Liu Kang and the fatality. That looks really good. Now, you say he's like fire and thunder god, yet he just kind of basically showed fire there, really. I think he's gone to just purely fire god now altogether, because the right one was orange fire and the left one was blue fire, kind of more representing the Jinsei in a way. Do you know that sort of way? So like, he's again Earthrealm's protector and stuff like that. Maybe he's maybe Raiden still does have a bit of thunder power, because like when when Kung Lao looked at him in the field, you saw the thunder behind him, really. So maybe we just probably didn't see it, really. I just feel, because this is all Liu Kang's universe, I feel he's got a hand in a lot of stuff, like a lot of people being there and a lot of stuff happening. Do you know what I mean? Like, is Scorpion still the Hellspawn ninja that we know, or is he just the Hanzo Hasashi ninja now that he won't have like fire element or anything else like that? He's just purely a kick-ass ninja. And obviously we know Sub-Zero still got the freeze ability, because as he was coming in, like, he was freezing the teacup and all that sort of stuff as well. Katana and Melina are still there. Melina's got a really cool, it looks like a really cool outfit. She's also got the teeth, as you saw, like she fixed her up her mask and stuff like that as well. And that was obviously Edenia, looked like that they were going through. Like, it looked very beautiful and stuff like that. And we all know Edenia is a beautiful place. And yeah, it's just like, I mean, it's a good trailer. Like, you know, it raises a lot more questions, but that's what these trailers are meant to do. Like, and that's what the NetherRealm Studios love for us to do. Like, they love to see everyone's reaction videos to these things, to see like their questions and what their theories are and stuff like that. And we all know Ed is a good troll. Like, do you know what I mean? So a lot of these things, yeah. So there's a lot of people even thinking about maybe like, is tag team coming back? Because it kept seeing everyone with two people beside each other. Do you know what I mean? There was like Kung Lao and Raiden, there was Melina and Katana, there was Scorpion and Sub-Zero. So everyone's like, oh, is this tag team coming back? Are they hinting tag team and all? But like, it remains to be seen. You never know really with these things.
Right. And trailers sometimes they'll be predominantly to get the hype going. Like, it might not be completely accurate. Like, remember the MK9 trailer, you see Raiden pairing off with Shao Kahn, and then you see a tag team between, what was it, Jackson Sub-Zero against Scorpion and Melina, I think. Well, neither of those battles happened canonically right there, but it did get the hype going. It did get the talk going and stuff like that. Well, in this case, it may very well be a taste of things to come. Maybe there's like subtext in the trailer that, you know, you might see, you know, Kitana and Melina and Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and yeah, they're known to be rivals and stuff, but then, you know, going along with Liu Kang's narration, are you going to face each other or are you going to team up? And then next thing you know, they're side by side and it looks like they're on the same page. So maybe that's like the subtle way of saying, there's going to be tag mode in this, or something like that, you know? That type of thing. And yeah, you're right about what you said there. He is technically called Fire God Liu Kang. That's how he's credited in MK11 and such. I guess I was going by in the Aftermath ending when he says to Great Kung Lao, "I am God of Thunder and Fire." It's like, man, he's got a lot of responsibility. But yeah, it did look like he called upon primarily his fire ability. So maybe he's like, I'm more so Fire God, but I do have a little bit of Thunder abilities. Or maybe in this new realm, that's a possibility. In this new era here, he's given the lightning and thunder abilities back to Raiden or something like that. It's just speculation. You know, it's like, okay, you know, you infused me with your lightning and thunder power to resolve the conflict during MK11, but now that we're past that, I'll keep the fire part there. Here, you could have the lightning back, or I'll transfer some of that power to you at least, or something like that. That's a possibility too. I'm still wondering how, other than perhaps, you know, being a fan favorite, I am still wondering how Melina fits into this. Like, okay, depending on what era we're in and stuff, and what for what reason does Melina have to exist in this era? If, like you were talking about, how Shao Kahn orders Shang Tsung to create her, and with the possibility of supplanting Kitana as ruler of Outworld or something like that. But again, is it a matter of Liu Kang brought her back? Did Kitana request she be brought back so that maybe Kitana thought, you know, it would be nice to have a twin sister, but one who I get along very well with, or something like that. You know, maybe again, maybe Kitana's friendship in Mortal Kombat 11 was giving us a bigger hint than we were aware, or something. You know, and kind of like that old sibling rivalry. Yeah, you might butt heads with your siblings and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you love them, even if they are a mutated copy of you.
Exactly. And just to point out as well, because this is Liu Kang's all-known universe and stuff like that, like, is he the only god? Is he like the only elder god? Or maybe has he brought Raiden into it as well, giving him back his kind of elder god status? Do you know that sort of way? It's an interesting thing as well, because obviously, like, the elder gods back in MK11 were killed by... Were they killed or were they dead? Did they leave by Cetrion? I can't really remember. Because I know Cetrion was the last one left when the Raiden went to find them.
Yeah, I think. Well, Cetrion, obviously, yeah, she was wiped out. I forget exactly what happened to the Elder Gods. Did they just abandon ship, or were they destroyed, or something? Maybe Kronika did something. forget exactly what did happen with the Elder Gods. Now that you mention it, there, I'd have to go back and look at it again.
Hmm.
But that is a good question, though. What is the status of the Elder Gods here? Are they the same Elder Gods? Since we're going back or something, is it the same Elder Gods, or has he appointed a new Elder God Council? I remember in his ending, in his MK11 ending, I believe Liu Kang talks about he's maybe something. Yeah, I think something may have happened to the Elder Gods there. Because in his MK11 ending, he talks about in his new reality how he pretty much puts together a new council of Elder Gods based on the people he trusts. Like Bo Raicho was on there.
Hmm.
I think even Sonya Blade was on there too
Yeah.
somehow. Kung Lao, Raiden, people that Liu Kang knows that he can trust, that are his allies and such, and who are very very disciplined and things like that. So it is possible that maybe some of the fan favorite characters, that could be their reason for being here too. Like, I'm only speculating, but oh yeah, Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage are going to be back, but not in the way that you might be expecting. They're going to be part of, the Liu Kang Elder God Council or something like that, which harkens back to what they said: see your favorite characters like you've never seen them before, and
Hmm.
things like that. It would be kind of nice, also in the case of Johnny Cage, for right before the end of the Midway era came, the Midway timeline with Armageddon, when they were releasing like the bios for some of the characters, they were talking about how Johnny Cage was suddenly getting clairvoyant abilities, and he was able to have visions of the future and things, and that's where we kind of first saw him starting to become more disciplined. Then we had the timeline reset. Then by MK10, he kind of became Point Man and such. So it'd be a nice way of maturing his character a bit too. In his particular case, right there. Uh, yeah, that is definitely some more food for thought right there for
Hmm.
sure. And also one thing you said about is he going to be Scorpion? Is he going to be the Hellspawn Scorpion? When we saw the trailer there, you could see that he had regular eyes. He didn't have like the undead looking eyes or anything like that.
Hmm.
He looked like an ordinary human wearing a ninja uniform. In fact, I tried putting my hair up in a bun like how Sub-Zero and Scorpion had, but it kept slipping out. So I said I'll just go with the ponytail. What the heck?
Why not?
But yeah, but yeah, so that actually is a good observation right there, because we didn't really see him use too much fire. We saw him with the spear on the end of the chain there, and Sub-Zero still had his power. Um, yeah, the costumes were simple but effective right there. They almost looked like palette swaps of one another, which again kind of harkens back to the old days of Mortal Kombat right there. I was like, that's pretty clever. That's pretty
Yeah, it's,
clever.
it's it's a good like standard costume, really. You've got the yellow, you've got the blue. They've got like pins. So I think a Linkway pin on this one, and I'd imagine
Oh
that one
yes, yes.
probably is the Shiro Ryu pin there as well.
Hmm.
Um, but they look a lot younger. They look very young compared to
Mhm.
when like Hanzo Sashi and God only knows who this Sub Zero is. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And then like also I want to point out like what's going on here now. Like, do you know what I mean? This is like a big massive red thing in the sky. Like I don't think it's Shang Tsung's portal, because Shang Tsung's portal is like obviously a hell of a lot smaller than what it was. That's it here. Do you mean? So is that
Ah, that looked
maybe?
more like Yeah, that looked more like an eclipse of some kind. That looked more like an eclipse. That's a portal right there.
Mm,
Yeah, that looks like the moon is coming in front of the sun,
yeah,
indicating that something big's going down or something like that.
a blood moon
Um,
maybe
what's that?
a blood moon.
Be a blood moon. That could be. That could be. Yeah.
Because like this
Be
is like this
Majora's
like
moon
we're
from
in it
Legend of
we're
Zelda. Oh boy.
yeah, we're in a Denya here, so it's going on all the realms. It looks like so
Yeah.
something big probably is happening, and maybe like behind the
Right.
scenes in story wise aspect of it, maybe that's how Shang
Hmm.
Tsung and all are back, because something's going on. Someone's maybe pulling them in or pulling them in or something. You never know, really.
Right. Right. Yeah, it could very well be. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
that you mention it, that could be the case right there. That this is being seen everywhere and such. Huh.
And this is interesting. So this is
Um,
Kung. This is Kung Lao, but he doesn't have his sharp hat. But then again, like if he's broken into the piece, he wouldn't really need it anymore. Do you know what I mean? And
True.
this is Raiden. Raiden looking a hell of a lot younger and different from the way he used to look in the
Yeah,
old
yeah,
Mortal
he is.
Kombat's.
Yeah,
So
very true.
it is looking like it's all different stuff. And then obviously Liu Kang coming in.
Yeah,
He's a little bit more mature.
yeah.
So you can see his arms are lighting up here. The way he did in MK11.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
Mm.
right. That's right. Yeah, because in MK11 he had like the lightning patterns on his arms and his shoulders and such. Yeah.
Now I did see another
Cool.
comment as well, and it is kind of it's an idea. So you've seen the movie, yeah, the new movie.
New movie? Yes, yes.
He bears a good resemblance to the movie counterpart of Shang Tsung, and we do see him
Yes.
do the same fatality of him taking Kung Lao's soul into his mouth. So are they maybe
Yeah.
trying to combine the movie and the game in some way?
That's interesting because when I saw this right here, I'm like, well, he has the costume that he had in MK11, but his likeness no longer resembles Kari Tagawa. It's more like I forget the actor's name, but it's more like Lao from The Dark Knight, right there. His actor who
Hmm.
played Shang Tsung in the last movie there. It's like, yeah, it could be. Maybe they're going in that direction with it, like they're trying to combine different kind of going into the MK multiverse or something like that, because multiverse is all the rage now in all kinds of creative works, whether it's in comic book movies or science fiction movies or even Mortal Kombat and stuff. So yeah, maybe this is MK 2021 or so.
That's it, like exactly. And the way you say multiverse is all as well. I did I did also see a comment about that as well. This like I mean it could be a thing of it happening. Maybe that's what the whole blood moon is meant to symbolize.
Hmm.
You know, like are we gonna be seeing like different aspects of each character or something maybe?
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard to see anyway. But like when do you think we'll probably get the next little trailer? I mean, we're talking 4 months now before the game is officially out. And I know
Right.
there's a Sony state of play next week on Wednesday. And then obviously we've
Cool.
got other stuff like we've got there's a fighting tournament towards the end of the month. I can't remember what it's called. Evo, is it? Evo? Is Evo's on it
Is
soon?
it Evo? Is it Combo Breaker?
It could be Combo Breaker actually. I think I remember Combo was in it, and then
Yeah, I remember
obviously,
hearing Combo Breaker come up. One of my friends on Twitter was talking about going to it. So it could be Combo Breaker. I forget when Evo usually comes around, like what time of year it
hmm.
is there.
And then
But
obviously
one of
we've
those.
got this Summer Games Festival as well coming into it as well over the next
Right,
while.
right.
So there's plenty of opportunities for more visual aspects. But as Ed Boon has said, like they've got so much more to show. So for to speculate
Mhm.
on something of what they are going to show, I mean, you remember like Ed putting up a load of tweets in over the last while saying, "What would you guys like if we were to bring back a certain mode? What would you guys love to see?" And obviously, Conquest won that by a landslide, really.
Yeah.
So would you think there might be some aspect of Conquest or maybe any other sort of game mode that there's been in it previously, or do you think they're going to go all out brand new?
I could see them revisiting some past game modes, but if they do go an all new mode, I'd be down for that too. Because the thing is, when it comes to the Mortal Kombat games and such, how do I say this? It's it's great to have your favorite modes and things like that, but sometimes I think a lot of us lose sight of when new modes got introduced, and at first we weren't too sure about it, but then we tried it out and said, hey, you know what, this is actually pretty cool, and then it opened us up to new possibilities right there. Like I'm sure there were people who were kind of scratching their heads at the first conquest mode in Deadly Alliance, but then when Deception did their conquest mode, it went on to become legendary. And then Armageddon did its own conquest mode, and it had some amazing features too. It kind of combined different genres in one. So I would say, yeah, whether they call it conquest or if they call it something else, something like that. I guess to a small degree, you could kind of say the story modes of the last few MK games were kind of like conquest modes in and of themselves, right there. But whatever they want to call it, yeah, I could definitely see them bringing something back like that. I think kind of like a model they may be going for here might be something that would suit a conquest mode. You know, like a conquest mode where it's more open world or something like that. I could see something like that coming into play for this because the MK universe is big. You know, it is a very big universe there, and if they give you all kinds of things to go with in this game, like in terms of affecting the characters' destinies and things like that, that could be a very interesting way to go. Unless they incorporate it into regular story mode. They could do that too. They could incorporate it into a regular story mode, like in MK11, you were able to make your own choices during certain parts, like who do you want to play as? Predominantly in the who do you want to play as part for certain chapters. Like, are you playing as Liu Kang or Kung Lao? Who's going to attack Iris? Is Sub-Zero or Scorpion going to fight Frost? You know, things like that. So, yeah, either one. If they give us a story mode like we've seen in the NetherRealm Studios trilogy, are they going to give us a conquest, more like something that follows the format of more like a traditional conquest mode, like we've seen in the 3D era? Or are they going to give us, to borrow a term from Impact Wrestling, are they going to give us option C and give us something completely new altogether, like an RPG mode or something like that?
Yeah, that'd be quite crazy, actually. Um,
Yeah.
so Kuroki goes, "Yo, happy MK12 announced trailer day." Absolutely, Kuroki, happy trailer day. Can I get your thoughts real quick? What did you think? Did you enjoy it? Do you have any ideas? We're kind of going speculating a lot of stuff here, like how is Shang Tsung in it? If it's Liu Kang's world, like where did Melina come into it? Like wasn't she like asked by Shao Kahn to be? Shang Tsung asked Shao Kahn. Or Shao Kahn asked Shang Tsung to make her. Like, are we talking? Like, are we still getting the Fire Hellspawn Ninja Scorpion, or is it going to be basic Scorpion? Like human Scorpion, basically. We're kind of going through a lot of stuff here anyway at the moment. So the website's been updated, obviously. So it's all MK1 pre-order exclusive to a character Shang Tsung. It's on in our blood. Discover a reborn Mortal Kombat universe created by the fire god Liu Kang. Mortal Kombat 1 ushers in a new era of the iconic franchise with new fighting system, game modes, and fatalities. So when they go about new fighting system, I think they might be trying to do the same sort of thing as Street Fighter and Tekken in a way. Obviously, like combos with Mortal Kombat were fairly like specifically button commands and stuff like that. I feel it might be a little bit more of a button mashing thing in a way, maybe. What do you think?
Well, that's possible. Maybe like when they say new fighting system, yeah, do they mean new in terms of it being new for Mortal Kombat, but something that we may have seen in other games, like you said, Street Fighter or Tekken, or are they talking like a new soup to nuts from the ground up, reinvent the wheel type of system that we haven't seen in any other fighting game, Mortal Kombat or otherwise, before? Um, I guess if they wanted to, I mean, we know that at the end of the day, NetherRealm Studios staff are gamers just like us, so they definitely have their finger on the pulse of what other kinds of games are out there, and they observe what they do and stuff like that, and say, okay, that's pretty cool right there. Is this resonating well with the gamers and such? Well, maybe we can not like directly copycat that into our thing, but incorporate elements of it into this one and such. I mean, hey, fighting games have taken cues from MK in the past, right there. So there you go. But in terms of what they mean by a new fighting system, yeah, I mean, if it's like something that we've seen in the early days, where it was pretty much here's your buttons, you do your special moves, and you kind of invent your own combos. Well, then that'd be one cool way. If they do it the 3D era style, where you got your buttons, not necessarily high punch, low punch, high kick, low kick, but 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks, and then the combo system, which still makes me laugh the way it's described. The dial a button, dial a combo system. A, B, X, Y, L, R, L, stuff like that. Or are they going to go to the style that we saw like in the NetherRealm games, where not only do they have the combos and the special moves, but they also have things like the flawless blocks and the perfect guards and the cancels and the this and that's and the cross ups and the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s and stuff like that. Is it going to be something completely new? Well, when it comes to the Mortal Kombat styles and things like that, it seems like they try to leave enough of what worked in the previous game, and then kind of inch something new into the one that comes after. They almost kind of follow the old Hiroshi Yamauchi, the former top man at Nintendo. They kind of follow that mantra of create something new when it comes to like their in-game mechanics and such.
And Krogi points out, actually, is it me or is the scene where Liu does his fatality, he had a little Dark Raiden moment? And it is very true, actually. When he does say, you've broken the peace, now you're at war with a god, his voice does seem to dip really deep there. And then obviously the whole place kind of goes a bit dark and stuff as he brings out the thing and stuff. And again, it kind of goes back to the whole thing where in my universe, you either be good or you be bad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he must have a bit of both, I'd say. He probably has like remember the whole thing with balance, Shinnok and Cetrion, that type of thing and all. He probably has that sort of like, he probably has a light mode and he probably has a dark mode. Maybe that's again the whole thing about reverting back to this whole dragons. You know, the orange one would be the light mode, and then the blue one could be the dark mode. Who knows? Like, it's still up in the air, really, of how this is going to go.
Yeah, that is a good point. Who said that?
Krogi.
Krogi. That is a very good observation there, Krogi. Yeah, perhaps like Liu Kang is now sort of the personification of the light and the dark. He's the yin and the yang, so to say, in one character right there. So kind of like Liu Kang's way of saying that, excuse me. At heart, Liu Kang is a good man. He's a good person, and he's very noble and wise and such. But like anybody, he's got a dark side too. But now with the power that he has, he's kind of making it known that I can be your best friend, or I could also be your worst nightmare. Choose wisely, that kind of thing.
Exactly. All right, let's go on to this. Immersive story campaign. Fight through a brand new story featuring your favorite Mortal Kombat characters like you've never seen them before. So I'd imagine it's going to be same as usual. Massive, amazing cinematic cutscenes and stuff. And then we'll go into a fight. Or maybe it's completely different now. Maybe it's like open world-ish, running around as the character and stuff like that. Cinematics happen, and then we go into a fight. You know what I mean? Because when they say immersive story campaign, older times it was just like immersive story and stuff like that. This is a campaign, so maybe it is a proper like sort of open world-ish conquest, deceptionist type running around and stuff like that. You never know, really.
Right. Yeah, that definitely does mark a good case for it being more conquest mode based rather than the story mode we've seen. Because in the story modes we've seen for the NetherRealm Studios trilogy, it really got you into the story and all, but at no point did you feel like, oh, now it feels like we're playing an action and adventure game or something. No, it was still, the interactive parts were very much fighting game all the way. But Conquest, though, gave you a little taste of action and adventure, and open world exploring, especially in Deception. And then in Armageddon, they added the ability to actually do fights in that portion of the game before going into the traditional one-on-one fighting mode against the other combatants when the time came.
Exactly. Kuroki says, I hope the cameo fight thing is not the MK11 AI assist where you call the characters in for a split second and instead it's a Tekken Tag tournament thing instead. Speaking of cameos, as he says, cameo fighters. Choose from a unique roster of cameo fighting partners to assist you in battle. Now, they've said apparently the roster of the cameos is going to be completely separate from the main roster itself. It's hard to say. I kind of feel it's going to be something like that, really. It's going to be like literally either they're going to be there, you're going to have them out in battle and they're going to help you in some way. Like they may, I don't know, maybe they be in the background and they're like throwing stuff at the guy or something like that. Who knows? Or else maybe it is like the MK11 story AI assist where you press up on the right stick and then Shang Tsung comes in and like does a fireball and then jumps out and then he comes in and like erupts the ground and then he jumps back out. You know, like Marvel versus Capcom type things here, really, where you probably won't be able to literally. I don't think you can be able to play as them as at all. I like because it says it is separate from the main fighting list altogether. Like who knows? It could be maybe like it's probably not even actual characters. You know what I mean? Like let's say if you're a Scorpion, maybe it's going to be a fire spirit or something like that. You know what I mean? It could possibly not be the actual characters themselves. It could be completely different. But then again, it's again still up in the air. We're not 100% sure about this.
Right. I find it interesting that they pick the picture of Scorpion and Sub-Zero as the backdrop for cameo fighters. When I saw that, I thought, oh, there's Scorpion Sub-Zero. Then I put cameo fighters. Then I started thinking, wait a minute. I have a theory. It's a bit far-fetched, and it might not be the case. And if the theory does get proven true, I'd say it would be a tremendous risk. But what if by cameo fighters they mean characters that we've seen in the Mortal Kombat series, but they will only be showing up as cameos and assist characters, and maybe Scorpion and Sub-Zero may be among them, thus explaining how they are able to exist in this new timeline, provided it takes place at an earlier point in time and such.
I wouldn't say that's per se. I'd imagine it's going to be like King Gorbak or the Grand Master, like the official Grand Master, or maybe like Shujinko, you know, those types of characters that will probably play a part in cameo fighters that again we know of and we know they're in the universe, but we never really see them that much anymore because obviously Gorbak is dead and all that sort of stuff, really. But like it could be a thing that maybe, let's say if Goro is in this and he could choose King Gorbak, or maybe even his brother that we know of from back in the earlier days as well. It could be just a purely thing like as again in the background throwing a rock or like doing a stop move or something like that. Maybe I doubt they're gonna take proper characters and use them as cameos, because like that's the whole point of the word of cameo is like special appearance of someone that you like haven't seen in a while or something like that for a split second or something. So maybe even Motaro might actually appear as a cameo because they can't really get him in as a proper fighter. It's just, I think Ed said it's just too difficult or something to code because he's a proper centaur. But as a cameo fighter, maybe that's even better because all he does is literally you press 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then they wouldn't really have to animate that much of a Montaro. Just have him in the background, like moving and then doing some weird stuff. And then when you call him in, he does his stuff, and then that's it. And again, I kind of wonder, would the cameos maybe influence the fatalities in some way, like the faction kills from MKX? Do you know what I mean?
Interesting. I like those ideas way better. Those would work much better as the concept for cameo fighters, because I think if you're gonna make a point of announcing cameo fighters in the way that you're doing right now on the website, I got a feeling it would be more than just like an MK11 where like let's say Su Hao shoots his chest laser and Onaga drops a meteorite on you, but the character themselves is off screen, but intellectually you know that it's coming from them. I was like, nah, an announcement this big and bold is too grand for it to be something that ultimately lasts maybe a second or two when you don't even see the character. I feel like they should go bigger than it with that. So maybe like, the Marvel vs. Capcom model of, they jump in and they do an attack. Or maybe even the Super Smash Brothers model where you get the assist trophies and the character lingers on the screen for a good 10 to 20 seconds, and you get a lot of exposure for them, and they get to do some damage. Like like you get the assist trophy, and here comes Andros from Star Fox 1 on Super Nintendo, and he stays in the sky for like a good 15 seconds or so, or at least it feels like that long, and he makes his presence known. He's not just hi, I'm here, now I'm gone, goodbye. He's not on there for a second or two, and then that's it. So yeah, maybe like Motaro in this case. God bless you, Motaro in this case. Like he'll come in and he'll like he'll be throwing a kick over here, throwing a kick over here, tail laser for you, tail laser for you, and then Dragon Zord roar, and then he jump off screen after that or something.
That's
That'd
very
be pretty
interesting.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's Croaky saying? And also, is the scene with Katana and Melina, are they in a pre-conquered Edenia or in a freed outworld? I'd
Well,
say, well, that's very interesting, actually. Yeah. Well, what do you think? I've actually got no.
well, like you were saying before, it looks like it could very well be Edenia, very peaceful and beautiful Edenia. Um, Again, going by Liu Kang has created his own perfect world in his image. You know, Liu Kang and Kitana love each other very much there, so he's going to want to be sure that Kitana is very happy and that her people get to live their lives peacefully as well. Now, Outworld was also said to be a good place too before Shao Kahn came along and kind of messed everything up right there. So, is it a hybrid of the two? I don't believe it would be a hybrid of the two because they were initially conceived to be separate realms. The only reason why they became fused with one another was because Shao Kahn and Outworld had defeated Edenia in Mortal Kombat and claimed them and merged them into their realm. I guess you could say like Shao Kahn was putting his own little infinity gauntlet of realms together, and Edenia happened to be that jewel that he would pop on right there. So then the only one that was left to conquer that he was interested in was Earthrealm, and of course we know how that went. So I'm thinking that it may be Edenia by itself. Frankly, I wouldn't mind if it were Edenia by itself, because well, outside of Deception's Conquest mode, I really don't feel like we got to see a whole lot of Edenia by itself right there. Maybe just Outworld version of it or something like that, if we even got to see much of it in that regard. My theory is it's probably Edenia by itself there. I mean, if it is a uncorrupted Outworld, I'd be okay with that too. But I feel like I was gonna say I feel like Outworld has a slightly different aesthetic, but even in MK10, it didn't have the purple sky that we saw like in MK2 or anything like that. So um, maybe not there, but yeah, it definitely looks very hospitable. I'll say that much. So if it's Edenia, if it's Outworld, uh, looking good. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Yeah, Purple Sky. There was a big uproar about that. What was I gonna say? What's it? MK Marvel versus Capcom fighting gameplay. That would be so cool. Yeah, like the combos and stuff in MK or Marvel vs. Capcom were insane. Like you could do proper like 20, 30, even 100 like even 100k combos and stuff like that. So if it was something like that, it'd be pretty crazy. All I hope is that it doesn't have gear system. Well, we know that dragon crystals are back, so they're obviously going to have to be spent on something. So there's probably going to be some sort of gear system, I'd say. Again, to be able to get people to have their own like, oh, I love this costume or I love that costume. So we need some way of giving it to you. All right, gear system. You're gonna have to get these dragon things and stuff like that. And I'd imagine the towers will probably come back in some aspect as well. Like the way they had the towers in 11, I thought were pretty good. Like in terms of being able to defeat this tower and you'll get these particular skins and stuff like that. The only thing I don't hope they don't bring back is the Combat League. Only because
Oh yeah, the Combat League. Yeah.
only because I suck online in these games. Like I am nowhere near as good as like Losty Girl or Gur or anything else like that playing online. Like they kick ass and I just rage too much. I can't go on there and expect to win, let's say 12 fights or something like that just to get these really cool looking skins. So hopefully there's an alternate way for people who don't want to go online fighting, a way of earning them or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Bob.
Yeah,
I agree, and that was something I was not a fan of in MK11. The fact that certain pieces of gear, like costumes that you would want to get, were hidden behind challenges that you had to do. I don't mind unlocking a costume by way of a challenge. I mean, there's a sense of pride to be attained from that. But sometimes it would be purely random as to what you would get. This is what I really, 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 really does not return for MK1 right there. That the items that you get gear-wise are left to RNG, the RNG model right there. That okay, I want to go for Sub-Zero's alternate costume, and I open the treasure chest, provided they bring the Crypt model back. I open the treasure chest, and so far I've gotten a lot of icons and costume pieces for characters that I'm really not looking for right now. But if I want to get that Sub-Zero costume, I gotta, I gotta run a gauntlet of 10 combatants on the impossible difficulty mode, on the you'll be sorry difficulty mode right there. It's like, can't I just unlock them by beating the game a few more times, that kind of a thing. Yeah, there's like some things like, look, I know what I want right there. I want to get this one right here. I'll worry about the other ones another time, where it's like, all right, you don't want to do it that way. Well, we'll give you another way of getting it. Maybe there's a treasure chest over here that you have to reach at a certain point of the day. If you want to make use of the game console's internal clock like they did in the GameCube days and such. I remember you came on my Rogue Squadron streams not too long ago, and I mentioned how if you play this mission during the day, your mission objectives change compared to how they would be during the night, where, okay, it's daytime, you could go out and about and approach the Empire base from this direction, whereas if you're playing at night, you have to be more stealthy and stuff like that, and the GameCube's internal clock would dictate that. So you play in the day, the mission's in the day. You play at night, mission's at night. So maybe like they could incorporate that, like, okay, if they want to be sentimental, if the game's internal clock reads, if the calendar end clock reads, let's say, one of the developers' birthdays or something like that. Maybe you'll, like Ed Boon's birthday, maybe a new costume for Scorpion will be available in this part of the map or something like that, That kind of thing. It's like, oh, that could be fun. That could be fun right there.
Very interesting, actually, yeah.
Yeah. But I liked the old model where, when it was the Crypt, you would, it was predetermined where each item would be, and you were able to save your progress onto the game's memory itself. It wasn't like tethered to an online server, which we still don't know what's going to happen if and when eventually the MK11 servers get shut down. Are we just going to be stuck with whatever we have or don't have? Or something like that. That was what worried me right there. So I really hope that there's a way to, keep everything so that, yeah, you'll be able to come back to it regardless of what the online status is, and also that, okay, like in the days where everybody would go on GameFAQs and such, it's like, okay, I was looking for Cyrax's alternate costume. Where'd you find that? Oh, is this coffin? All right, thank you. Or something like that, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. The coffins are back in the day were amazing. Yeah, definitely. I was just saying the crypts back in the day were amazing. Like literally going through like AA, BB, CC, and all that sort of stuff, and to find various costumes and stuff like that as well. Croaky made the point. Yeah.
With the axe there, and he's winking at the camera and stuff. Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah, I'm looking forward as well to seeing how way they do the crypt. They like to change the crypt up every game, and the last one now was very good. It was a proper like running around adventure mode style-esque type thing with like being able to swing the hammer, and with so many secrets and stuff in it. Like, so this one now, I'd love to see what they're gonna do in terms of where it's gonna be, what you're gonna be able to do, what sort of like aspects and stuff are gonna come into it. Let me see.
Before says, up there it said new fighting style, fatalities, and game modes. That's like we were talking about before. Are they going to reintroduce past game modes on account of like what Ed Boon was talking about with did you like Conquest? Did you like chess combat, motor combat, and stuff? Or will they bring some of those back? Will they introduce new ones and such? Hey, if they introduce new ones, definitely give us more to experiment with right there. That'd be cool.
Proper motor combat with like Mario Kart aspects in it. That'd be very funny. Sure. So Krogi says Kitin Scarlet skin was a Combat League skin, and I got so mad because she looks so cool. Yeah, no, that's again with hopefully now like there are alternate ways of being able to get these skins in some aspect or another. And I've been seeing people debating if Sub-Zero in the trailer is Kwai or Baihan. Me personally, I'm hoping it's Baihan since he has more rivalry with Scorpion than Kwai. Well, Croaky, we were touching on that earlier, thinking that it's probably not either of them at all. It could just be an ancestor because remember, Sub-Zero is just a title after all. It could literally just be a particular like ancestor, like Scorpion, Hanzo Sashi, and Sub-Zero or like Baihan, like wow, that was it's like old. Is old Japanese when they were fighting, or is that just in the movie?
Um, in the 2021 movie, that was the first time I think we ever saw Hanzo Hasashi and Baihan exist in like the earlier centuries, and so like centuries before the MK tournaments. Up until then, I think it was understood that they existed in contemporary times. Like they had their battle when Sub-Zero when Baihan murdered Scorpion at the Shaolin temples around like let's say if we're going by real time. It happened in like 1990, figuring that MK1, the original MK1, did in fact take place the year the game came out, 1992, and going by the comics where Scorpion tells Sub-Zero, "You murdered me exactly 2 years ago today." It'd be figured I would place it in 1990, so thus our modern time, not
Right.
in the feudal Japan or thereabouts kind of time, right there in the Middle Ages or so.
Yeah, because then that would kind of show like if they are alive and this sort of stuff. But again, this is Fire God Liu Kang's universe, so he could like have these people in around this area. Like we just don't know yet. We're just kind of going by what we're seeing in the trailer. Like they're very young. Like the Scorpion and Sub-Zero in the trailer, they're very young anyway. So it could even
Yeah.
be like it could just be a younger versions of a Lin Kuei warrior and a Shiro Ryu warrior as well. They could not even, probably not even Hanzo, Sashi, or Baihan, because remember, these clans still do exist, and they do have their feuds, but then the whole thing about come together as brothers, as soon as they see a world-ending threat, they're going to have to team
Yeah.
up to go up against it, and that was that whole Blood Moon Eclipse thing that we've seen in the trailer as well. So they...
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe Liu Kang decided that now if you want to say that it is Hanzo Hasashi and Bihan, maybe he decided that they could be born earlier or something like that. They could be born during the time of the Great Kung Lao's prime, during his heyday or something like that, because he knows them and such. Maybe I mean the Liu Kang of the mortal world didn't get to know their ancestors very much. He only first met these men at the tournament, the original MK1 tournament there. Um, yeah, it could very well be that these are just younger Shirai Ryu and Lin Kuei right there, and maybe this could sort of like keep their clans from being right now. Maybe if they have a rivalry, maybe it's more of a friendly rivalry, like like yeah. Yeah, the Yankees and the Mets, they have a rivalry, but they're like, yeah, but you're cool though. It's kind of like oh yeah, well we'll see about that. Good luck, man. Thanks, you too. That kind of a thing. Not like oh I hate your guts or something like that. Not like
Mm.
a Yankees and Red Sox or Mets and Phillies kind of a rivalry, so to speak, right there. um, but yeah, there you go.
So Cranky's asking, any 3D characters you're expecting to see in this one?
Well, I'm going to be think about something here. I think that's the 3D characters that I would personally like to see in this one. This kind of ties into what's Shang Tsung's role in this game.
Mm.
We see Shang Tsung, and we all know that him and Liu Kang, they get along like they get along like Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, like The Rock and Triple H, like John Cena and Randy Orton. Pretty much, they're arch
And grab
rivals.
water. You keep talking.
Like Ric Flair and Sting. I could go on and on. We all know that they're arch rivals. But I think that Shang Tsung may end up serving as the proverbial Disc 1 final boss, where he is a threat, he's not the threat. like General Grievous in Revenge of the Sith. He's definitely a big threat, but the bigger threat would be Darth Sidious. Um, kind of like in some other movies and games that we've seen where, oh yeah, this guy, maybe like in Chrono Trigger, yeah, we're led to believe Magus is the big baddie of this one, but then it turns out, oh, who's this Lavos guy? Which ties into your question, who would I like to see return from the 3D era, if anybody? I think, yeah, Shang Tsung being in here would be cool, and obviously he is in here. But just like in MK10, MKX, where Goro was a pre-order exclusive, but he wasn't the final boss, just like Shao Kahn was a pre-order exclusive in MK11, but again, he was not the final boss. I think the same model will hold true for Shang Tsung here. I think that they're going for the three-peat, and I think that Onaga could potentially be the final boss.
And that's why
This
it's
one.
Blood Moon and all that sort of stuff, because the prophecy and stuff like that. It's because again, like I'm just thinking, I'm just spitballing there, because this is all Liu Kang's world and all that sort of stuff. Like, like I was thinking, like certain events probably never really happened in terms of like Shao Kahn probably never actually overthrew Onaga, or maybe he tried to, and Onaga figured it out and killed him before he could do anything. So the whole thing about the Blood Moon could actually indicate some sort of a prophecy and a big bad coming in to try and wreck everybody's fun, basically. And yeah, like you said, Shang Tsung is just like a sub boss, let's say. And then the big man himself hasn't been shown at all yet. Because I don't think they'd want to put all their, let's say, all their, what's the expression I'm looking for here?
Into one basket. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't want to do that all on the very first trailer that they're going to show. I'd imagine probably give it like 2 months and then we'll see the big bad.
Yeah. I just thought of something else too. Onaga definitely is a possibility, but maybe even being that Liu Kang is now ruling all of reality, maybe we might find out a bit more about this one being that we've heard so much about ever since the 3D era. Maybe the one being is going to step in and say, okay, Liu Kang, you've had your fun. Now it's time for you to be put into balance of some kind of scenario like that. Or maybe I suppose you could go the Titans route as well. You know, we only got some hints about the Titans in MK11. That could be something. I don't know if we'd see Kronika again. I think Kronika's story may have been told already. But yeah, it could be that. But to answer the question of what 3D era characters would I like to see, Onaga is definitely one. And honestly, I'd like to see Shujinko as well. But it would be a younger Shujinko, like how we saw in Deception when he was starting his quest. Because you figure, well, you figure that when by the time Deception's conquest mode starts, Shujinko is already a child or a teenager, and I believe the Great Kung Lao had already met his end by the four hands of Goro, because when they're starting off, he's sparring with a couple of kids who one's sitting on the other one's shoulders pretending to be Goro right there, so it's safe to assume Goro was the grand champion. But in Liu Kang's new era, though, Kung Lao may still be the champion, or maybe that fight hasn't taken place yet, or whatever the case. But hopefully we get to see a younger, maybe 20, 30-something Shujinko getting to join forces with Liu Kang, the Great Kung Lao, Raiden, and such, and then you'd really have a mean Shaolin fighting machine right there, you know?
Yeah,
He might not
exactly.
be infused with Onaga's powers, or if he is, that would certainly make him really, really tough. That would certainly make him an ace character, no doubt. But to see him fight alongside of all of them, um, and be their contemporaries and such, I think would be a real treat.
Yeah, I definitely love to see Onaga come back. I'd love to see Nutara come back. Like I keep wanting to see the vampire race come back in some form or the another. And if this is Liu
Mhm.
Kang's world, maybe like like did Shao Kahn kill their race? I can't really remember where their race went in with Nutara and stuff.
Uh, forget exactly if
Hmm.
Shao Kahn had killed Nitara's vampire race. I think like Nitara is one of only a few left, or something like that.
Hmm.
I
Because we've
forget
seen her in the
exactly what.
movie. She was in
You
the
see her in the
movie. She
movie,
was in the
right?
movie, so like it would make sense to kind of bring her back if this is a whole thing of going back down the movie route. Because like Kuroki, we were saying as well, Shang Tsung kind of looks like the Shang Tsung from the movie, and plus he does the same fatality on Kung Lao that he did in the movie. So it's a kind of a way of maybe combining both the game world and the movie world, and then that's where the second movie's got to come into it in some aspect or another.
Right, right. I wonder if talking about character inclusion. Right?
Oh, down the rug. Pipe.
The wrong pipe
Yeah.
there. Yeah. My grandma used to say, if you ever have that look up for a few moments there, that usually straightens it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Grandma.
But
Coincidentally, September 19th is actually my grandmother's birthday, it turns out.
oh
And,
wow.
hello to this, yeah, it's one day before my birthday, too. So I'm like, look at this. Just in time for my birthday. Thank you, Red Bone. Thank you, NetherRealm Studios. Mwah, love you guys.
Brilliant. Are you gonna get the collector's one then, are you?
I am going to get. I'm probably going to get the. I don't know if the collector's edition is available for it, or just it only goes as high as the premium edition.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hang on,
But,
I've got a
whichever
thing
one.
here.
Yeah,
I've got a
whichever one
thing.
of those. I'm going to get the Nintendo Switch edition. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm very happy that that Mortal Kombat is back on Nintendo consoles once again. I'm so happy it brought 11 back to Nintendo, and yeah, I'm going to be more than likely getting the Nintendo Switch edition. I think it said they do have a premium. The premium edition is going to be released for Nintendo Switch. I don't remember if they said the collector's edition will be. But worst case scenario, I could always get the collector's edition for the the goodies that come inside it, like the statue and such like that. To have for those things there. But for like the main console I'd be playing on, um, more than likely it would be the Nintendo Switch, unless like I get a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X or whatever they're up to now. By that time, 98.6% chance it's going to be the Switch for me. Maybe Steam also.
Yeah, because it is actually coming out on PC as well, which a lot
Oh,
of
there you
people be
go. There you
interesting
go.
anyway. Yeah, so you've got the
Yeah.
standard edition here, which is purely just going to be pre-order content of Shang Tsung. The premium edition comes with pre-order content, 1 week early access to the game, 1 week early access to the DLC characters. So they've already apparently now, well, we all kind of knew there was going to be DLC in some aspect,
Yeah.
and then obviously the combat pack, which is obvious. And then the collector's edition, which apparently is going to be about 200 and over 200 quid or something from what I've heard. You get the Liu Kang sculpture. It's a 16.5 inch Liu Kang sculpture. Hopefully he's doing some really cool fire stuff and not just the character itself. But still, either way would be cool. Exclusive steel case. Limited edition course art prints. And then, of course, the exclusive limited edition Liu Kang in-game color Verlant. So straight away there, we see that there's going to be different colors at least anyway. And also under here it says includes 2,700 dragon crystals in-game currency.
Yeah. In-game currency, that would also be a good alternative way to buy the costume that you would otherwise only be able to get like from like defeating these characters or in this modes and the most crazy difficulty setting. It's like, all right, let me just use the in-game currency. But the in-game currency, though, not as much the whip out your wallet and put up some real money for it, even though that kind of has become the norm in recent times and stuff like that. But I miss the old days of it cost 10,000 sapphire coins or 8,000 ruby coins or this many jade coins, that many platinum coins, and that's how you get it. I prefer that model over what's permeating through the game community today. That's just my 2 golden coins for you right there.
And in the small writing down here, I don't know if you can see it, Combat Pack includes 6 new playable characters, 5 new cameo characters, and a Jean-Claude Van Damme skin for Johnny Cage.
Oh, wow. Little spoiler of sorts for us there. A Jean-Claude Van Damme skin and for Johnny Cage. Okay, well, there's another confirmation, I guess, right there. Johnny Cage is going to be in it. And a Jean-Claude Van Damme skin. Now that's a throwback for you. Talk about how Jean-Claude Van Damme was initially tapped to be in the first Mortal Kombat before it
Hmm.
became the Mortal Kombat that we all know. So yeah, is he going to be looking like his Frank Dukes self right there? That'd be pretty cool. It'd definitely be Bloodsport time for everybody. Kumite.
Be interesting to see exactly what sort of costume you'll get. You'll probably get the one from Bloodsport, I'd say, in a way.
Mm,
Right.
yeah.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna go on to where is it? Share screen.
Be
Um,
honest, usually when it comes to games nowadays, I wait for a complete edition to come out, and that was the case initially for MK11 because I got the complete edition of MK9, the complete edition of MK10. I did the same thing with the Injustice games, but with MK11, I was just so happy that it was on Nintendo again that I wasn't sure if they were going to have a definitive edition because typically the other consoles get it while Nintendo doesn't. So I said, all right, that's okay. Then they kind of did when MK11 Ultimate came into fruition, but they updated the regular game to the point where it's like you do have it already. So it's like, all right, that works. That's fine.
although I don't want to worry you now, but like it's strange that it's not coming out on the Xbox One or PS4, but it is coming out on the Switch. And what we've seen so far, obviously, with Hogwarts Legacy, is it's out for those consoles now, but the Switch has been pushed back again till like November, I think it is now, of this year. And like everyone's just saying, just cancel it already because obviously it can't
Oh,
handle something like that. So it's gonna be
Hogwarts
interesting to see
Legacy.
how the Switch can handle. Now, Mortal Kombat One's not that bad because it's just a fighting game, really. Like Hogwarts Legacy is a big open world style game in itself.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they did pretty good with the Switch port of MK11. There were a couple of compromises here and there, primarily during like the main fight screen and such, even in the crypt where on the other consoles you could see all the detailing in the sky, like the clouds, the stars and things, whereas on the Switch it looked like a perpetually overcast day. Um, but the cutscenes were completely faithful all across the board. They were consistently good quality. It didn't feel like there was any sputtering or anything like that. Everything reacted as it should have, in good timing. But like when you get to the main fight screen, though, you could tell they had to scale back a couple of things. But that's okay as long as it's not like oh man, this the response time for from when I press the button to the character doing the move is way off. As long as it's not a case of that, then I'm happy.
True, true. Yo, Jay, welcome on in. You gotta go shower. Thanks for sharing. um, so we look at the frequently asked questions here on the actual MK site already.
Okay.
So what type of game is Mortal Kombat 1? Mortal Kombat 1 is the latest acclaimed Mortal Kombat video game franchise developed by award-winning NetherRealm Studios. The game will introduce a reborn Mortal Kombat universe that's been created by Fire God Liu Kang, featuring reimagined versions of iconic characters as they've never been seen before, along with new fighting game system, game modes, bone-crushing finishing moves, and more. I like the way they include the bone-crushing finishing moves there. Um, who's developing Mortal Kombat 1? All versions of Mortal Kombat 1 are built on NetherRealm Studios technology, with oversight by NetherRealm. The NetherRealm team is developing the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X versions of the games. Q-Lock is developing the Steam and Epic Games Store versions of the game. Shiver Entertainment and Saber Interactive are developing the Nintendo Switch version of the game.
Okay, I think they worked on the Switch version of MK11 as well, so all right, that's consistent. There you
Cool,
go.
cool. And actually, how was the Switch version of MK11? It went pretty well, did it?
I liked it. Yeah, I thought it ran very well. I didn't feel like there was anything really missing. Like I said, I did notice a little dip in maybe graphical capabilities at certain points and stuff, but they didn't like take anything out. Like they didn't remove these cutscenes or these modes or anything like that. So it wasn't like you were getting a trimmed version of the game that you would see on the other consoles. All the DLC was there and stuff. You could get all the same characters, all the same Towers of Time were there. So it wasn't missing anything. It was consistent along with the other ports right there. Just the only thing was like if you do a side by side comparison of how the fight screen looks on the PlayStation 4 version compared to the Switch version, you might notice a little scaling back for the Switch. But other than that, I was perfectly happy with it.
Ah, that's grand. That's grand. So who's publishing Mortal Kombat? Warner Bros. Obviously, when did Mortal Kombat release? September 19th this year. Will Mortal Kombat 1 be available for early access? So yeah, players who purchase Premium Edition or Collector's Edition will have access to the game beginning September 14th. Platforms will be on. It'll be on PS5, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Which PC platforms? Mortal Kombat will be Steam and Epic Games. How much does it cost? Yeah, well, all there's that's a lot of stuff. It's just telling you exactly what everything's coming with anyway. Well, we've already touched on that. Alright, so here's the juicy ones here anyway. Watch which characters will be available in Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 1 will feature reimagined fighters like they've never been seen before, including Liu Kang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Kung Lao, Kitana, Mileena, Shang Tsung, Johnny Cage, and many others. So Johnny Cage is pretty much, as you said there, all up and confirmed. What are cameo fighters and how do they work in Mortal Kombat 1? Cameo fighters are a unique roster of partner characters to assist during matches, creating expanding gameplay possibilities for players. These characters are chosen separately from the main roster of fighters.
Separately from the main roster of fighters, huh?
So instead of variations, I think this time you're going to be able to choose your cameo fighter.
Yeah, interesting. You choose your fighter, and then who of these cameo fighters would you like to pop in? Should you call them in and stuff? Okay.
I wonder will they have any sort of effect like in Super Smash Brothers? You know the way you're able to get certain characters to back you up, but like it doesn't. You don't see them in the game, but I'd imagine you will see these in the game. But like it's a different thing as well. Like
if they're making a point of saying it, I would think you would get to see the characters themselves in the game. Otherwise, that's the kind of information you can probably make just a little footnote at the bottom of the page. Oh, and cool special moves. You don't even have to say. You could kind of leave it a surprise as to, but that's coming from Cyrax right there. You see the net, you think, Cyrax is here. Meanwhile, his physical model is nowhere to be found.
True, yeah. What type of modes will Mortal Kombat 1 have? NetherRealm are genre-defining story mode returns with brand new cinematic narrative featuring unexpected twists on classic rivalries and original backstories for the wide-range cast of legendary fighters. More details of online and offline modes will be coming soon. So that's an interesting thing. So, unexpected twists on classic rivalries. So maybe Scorpion and Sub-Zero, or maybe Shiroryu and Lin Kuei will never actually be rivals at all. Maybe they'll end up teaming up and make a whole new clan or something like that.
Yeah, that could be a possibility there. Wow, that would be interesting. Yeah, maybe they are part of the same clan. Yeah, we're seeing the yellow and the blue, so we're thinking, Scorpion of Shirai Ryu and Sub-Zero of the Lin Kuei, but maybe they're in the same clan and the colors determine their rank or something. Maybe they got a Power Rangers thing going on, a Blue Ranger, Yellow Ranger, thing like that,
So is an internet connection? Okay, yeah, well, don't need to know that. Is PlayStation Plus? Yeah, don't need to know that. Will Mortal Kombat 1 have a rollback netcode? Sport online gameplay. Yeah, okay, well, that's it, really. So there's a little bit more kind of knocking on the head there of what's coming and stuff like that. Johnny Cage cameos are a little bit more explained, although I'd love to see it in action, the cameo fighters. Hopefully that will happen soon enough.
Yeah, that would be cool to see who they have in mind for that. Yeah. So, Arcane, if you don't mind me asking, if you don't mind me asking you a question there, people ask about this on Twitter a lot. Do you have like a particular roster aside from the ones that we know to be confirmed already that you would like to see in Mortal Kombat 12/1?
Well, the characters that I know and love are already confirmed. The likes of Kung Lao, Shang Tsung, Liu Kang, and all that sort of stuff. However, I will admit I do love Shao Kahn, so hopefully he's in it in some aspect of it. We have Raiden. Who else? Trying to think now. Of like the characters that I all know and love from previous games. Kung Lao's in it. Raiden's in it. Liu Kang's in it. It's a tough question because, like, I mean, mainly the characters that I do always play as and always kind of choose are already in the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
There's
cool.
not really a lot. Definitely Shao Kahn, anyway, obviously. Um, no, not really. None come to mind. None come to mind. I have the main
Okay.
ones. Anything else after this is really just a bonus, to be honest.
Oh, that's good. Very
Hmm.
cool. Very cool.
And Shao Kahn. Put Shao Kahn in.
Okay. Well,
What about
to be
you?
perfectly honest here, Arcane Pain. And what I'm about to say might be a little bit controversial here, but
Ooh.
honestly, aside from the characters that we've already, had confirmed, many of whom I speculated would probably be in it in one form or another anyway, like,
Hmm.
Liu Kang as the Fire God, Great Kung Lao, Sub-Zero and Scorpion, are they Bihan and Hanzo Hasashi? Are they ancestors? Are they completely new people? Who knows? I think I personally would be fine if, aside from those characters, we had an all-new roster.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping
And
to as well.
yeah, I think it would be great to have an all-new roster of characters being introduced for the first time who we've never seen before. And the reason is simple. Even though over the years we have amassed our favorite characters in the franchise, I feel like over the last couple of years, a lot of the fans have been essentially asking for the same game over and over again. It's like, we want this character in this game. We want that character in this game. I want this
Hmm.
character in this game. It's like, yeah, but you got them in the previous game, though. I mean, I understand you like them and all, but I feel like if you keep the roster exactly the same, where you always have that same character in there, it kind of wears it out a little bit. It kind of loses. Like, put it this way: when Melina was killed off in MK10's storyline, that was a pretty significant moment. Then you bring her back by way of the DLC, and then we know how that whole story went for MK11, and it was like it just undermined that moment. Now, it kind of, from a story perspective, you look at it as, well, I don't know if I'm going to feel anything from seeing this character get killed in the game here, because if they're just going to be brought back like nothing happened in the next one, then it takes away the stakes that were involved and such. And really, over the years, part of the reason why we have the list of favorite characters that we do is because they were introduced to us in the games as they went on. Like, MK1, you only had 7 playable characters plus Reptile Goro and Shang Tsung. Then MK2, you introduced fan characters who would become fan favorites, like Baraka and Melina. And in MK3, you introduced a whole new cast of characters, and a lot of characters even got left out. Um, and by the time it got to then you get to MK4, you got a whole new direction here where, Outworld is kind of taking a back seat to the Netherrealm, and Shinnok and Quan Chi come in, and, you got another bunch of characters. You got characters who maybe were, like the spiritual successors of certain characters, like Jarek in place of Kano, let's say. Not Shao Kahn, Shinnok, even though Shinnok would go on to be his own, widely recognized character, in terms of how he played in MK4, was kind of like Shang Tsung all over again, only he didn't morph into the characters, but he utilized everybody's movesets. By the time you get to the 3D era, you had a very nice, big, rich roster of characters, and you could still add on. Like, you got Frost, you got Kenshi, you got Movado, you got other characters that were added into MK Deadly Alliance. Then by the time you bring back a lot more of the nostalgic characters in Deception, like Ermac, Nightwolf, Sindel, you already had spent some time away from those characters. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, as they say. It's like, man, I really miss those characters. It'd be great to see them again. But if you get them again all the time in every game, it's like you don't really have time to miss them and stuff. Yeah, sure, you could have your cornerstone characters, like I said, Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and it could be anybody, because don't forget, in MK2, for a while, we weren't sure if the Sub-Zero in MK2 was the same man from MK1, or if he was somebody entirely different, and we got our answer at the end of that game. But we didn't mind at the time. We just saw Sub-Zero. We thought, all right, as long as he's got Sub-Zero's moves, I'm good. Is that the same Scorpion as from MK1? Okay, fine. What about this Cyrax guy? Is this Scorpion but roboticized, as we thought at first? Did Scorpion make a deal with Lin Kuei to go after Sub-Zero, you know? We didn't mind as something, as long as they played well and stuff like that, it was cool. But, no, it's when you take risks like that, and I know it can be daunting. It could be daunting for anybody, for movie screenwriters, TV show writers, game designers. It can be a very daunting task. But I think a big part of MK's success is the fact that they did know when to take risks here and there, and quite honestly, the existence of, the very concept of Mortal Kombat as we know it today was a risk in and of itself. Incorporating bloody elements like the fatalities and things like that, and it was a risk that, yeah, they gambled pretty big, but it paid off, as history shows. So, in addition to having the characters that we have here, I think having a new roster of characters, instead of just bringing back all the old, like, oh, I want Lee May in here, I want Cyrax in here, I want Ermac, I want this guy, I want yeah, I get that a lot of us love these characters and such. Like, I'm a big Cyrax fan, but if Cyrax has not come back for this game, okay, I'll see who else is around. I kind of have like a chain of command when it comes to my mains in these games. If Cyrax is unavailable, I'll go Sub-Zero. If for whatever stretch of the imagination Sub-Zero is not available, I'll pick Sonya. If she's not free, I'll take somebody else. That's how I got introduced to Cyrax, because I was playing as Sub-Zero, but then I said, well, Scorpion's not here. Let's see what Cyrax is about, and I ended up liking Cyrax, that kind of a thing. So you get introduced to these new characters when they get brought into into the franchise the way they do, and I think you kind of rob yourself of the opportunity of being introduced to a much broader inventory of characters and possibilities in the series when you're always asking for the same thing again and again. I mean, look, I love pizza, but every now and again I'm in the mood for pasta or a hamburger or something like that. You're eating the same thing for dinner all the time. It's like, oh, it's cool, but there's so much more on the menu that you haven't tried yet, that kind of thing. So to open you up for possibilities, I think, is always a good thing, and that's what really keeps the franchise going. That it's not because you keep using the same people and the same realms and things like that. It kind of keeps the universe very small feeling and things like that. But I think having aside from these characters that we've seen, and maybe if you want to bring characters back that we have seen who it would make sense for them to have lived during this time, like characters who are thousands of years old and stuff like that, that could work. But this would also be an opportunity to give us new characters as well, and as a result, people who considering the fact that this is essentially another reboot, some people may be coming into the series for the first time during this time period right here with this game. Mortal Kombat 1. Oh, okay, this would be a good starting point for me. I've been thinking about getting into it. Maybe I'll start here. This would be a prime opportunity to introduce some fresh faces, some new blood, so to say, and create a whole new generation of fans who love a whole new generation of combatants, sort of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. And let me actually throw that question to the chat as well. If you guys have anyone that you'd like to see come back for this, let us know in the chat there, and we'll discuss it as well. Yeah, that's another thing as well. I feel you on that. Like, I was the same with Mortal Kombat 3. When I loaded it up, I was disappointed to not see Scorpion. But then you start playing at all these other characters, and that's how you get introduced to Cabal, Sindel, Shiva, Cyrax, and all. You'd end up playing them, and either A, you'd like them, or B, you wouldn't like them as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, either A, you like them, or B, you wouldn't like them, and they could become your favorite punching bag in the game. All right, I'm up to you. I'll pound the stuffing out of this character here, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Let me just where is the this one over here? So Kuroki says, I want Serena and Baihan to interact again, damn it. Yeah, that's another thing as well. If it is Baihan and Serena, their love relationship thing, they never really got to explore that properly.
It's true, yeah.
In mythologies.
Yeah, they meet up in mythologies there, and then that was pretty much as far as it went. I remember in Serena's, I believe it was her Armageddon ending, we don't see it happen because of the way Armageddon's endings were structured. We just see your winning combatant doing their kata atop the Pyramid of Argus there, but we didn't see like any scenes of Serena and by Han or anybody else or something like that. We kind of had to use our imagination as we read the narration and heard it recited back to us there. But yeah, if Serena and Bihan come together in this, that I'd be fine with that.
Yeah,
Sure.
and going back to the whole thing of like, you can face each other as sworn enemies or unite as brothers. That seemed to be a particular quote that a lot of people are kind of taking as a possibility. And like we've already kind of discussed it in a way. So it could be that you have a personal choice to choose whether what kind of roles these characters have in this new universe. So it
Yeah.
just brings out so much possibilities, but hopefully, like, is it going to be like, is it going to impact the story at all, or is it just going to impact their particular story? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, true. And like, how consequential will the choices be right there? Will it be to where now you get like so many different endings, and then people are going to be left wondering for a while which one is canon and stuff like that. Which is kind of like a new twist on the fighting game endings, where you're in the arcade mode, and some characters' endings are obviously not canon, while others could potentially be canon and stuff like that. You're like, how big of an impact would it have? Just like oh well, the end result is the same, but your the choice you made right here just kind of gives you a different perspective on it. But or would it be a matter of, oh no, if you choose this path, you're going to get a way different ending than you would if you went that path, something like that.
Oh, I have it here. Hang on. Let me. They're after updating this now. Let me just share the screen there. They're after showing you what the collector's edition is going to look like.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice looking statue there. All right.
Indeed. It's like got like the two dragons on either side wrapping around him going up and him doing his classic pose and stuff.
Uh-huh. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Looks like a trophy almost.
Yeah, doesn't it? And like what's interesting though is like it's they're not colored. So I wonder, is that like a specific thing? Like the only thing colored is the headband, the waistband, and of course the leg bands, and of course the sash that comes out here.
Yeah.
Is it again that of course of like, he could be a light and a dark character? So they decided to just keep him grey, which is kind of a neutral-ish character, in color.
Right. Right, yeah. Is that like the final design maybe, or is that to give you an idea of what it will look like?
Hmm.
Something like that. But yeah, that's a good bit of symbolism right there. He's not so much light or dark, kind of shades of gray in a sense. Yeah.
Steel case looks nice. It's like the dragon. I'd say on the opposite side, there's the other dragon. The blue dragon is the
Yeah.
orange dragon, and the same probably with
Yeah.
the premium boxes as well. You've got this side,
Mm.
which is like the orange, and then you flip it over, and you've got the blue.
Huh.
Let's see,
Yeah,
or if
pretty good there.
they showing off anything else.
Saw Carlos on there. There's Justin Justin McCollum there.
I think I might just stick
Yeah.
with the premium edition. I was hoping for a sideshow collectible style Liu Kang statue, but at the same time, this doesn't surprise me after the horse style, the Mortal Kombat X statues we got of Scorpion, between this and the Prince. I don't know if it's worth the $250. Good to see Liu Kang finally get the attention he deserves and all, but just kind of a downgrade from the awesome Scorpion and Sub-Zero headbusts from K11. Is it
There you
just
go.
because it's not colored? Is that really what he's saying, or?
Maybe that's why I'm thinking it looks like a trophy also, because a lot of trophies are usually just one solid color, like silver or gold or something like
Yeah,
that. You get the Vince Lombardi trophy. Here's the Liu Kang trophy right here. There you go. And name it after a champion. Why not?
that's it. Like,
Yeah.
you, you can face each other as sworn enemies or unite as brothers.
There's a deadly alliance for you right there.
Jeez.
Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Oh, excuse me. Oh my god.
Well, mm.
Well, I don't think. What else have we got here? Really hope this. I really love this new logo. Yeah, the new logo looks really nice, and I love the
Yeah.
way like it was created by his fire, like as he
Yeah.
was doing the whole thing. Oh yeah,
It
here
looks
we
like
go.
the dragon's tail is coming up over his head, thus completing the almost full circle right there.
Oh, I think here we go. Scorpion has the Lin Kuei emblem on his chest? Question mark. Is he a Lin Kuei? Could it be Takeda before he broke off from the Lin Kuei and formed the Shiro Ryu?
Uh-huh. See, there you go.
Yeah,
See,
like you were
just like you were
saying.
saying.
Yeah.
There you go.
Interesting.
How
Very
about
interesting.
that?
Maybe Scorpion joined the Lin Kuei and Sub-Zero joined Shiro Ryu, huh?
Maybe so, yeah.
I think that's all from this. Dang, I wanted Injustice 3. Okay, but who was expecting to see Onaga come through the portal?
Hey,
Yeah, well, we'll see how it
Trevor.
goes.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, of course, yeah,
definitely
actually Quan Chi
onslaught.
now. I'd love to see Quan Chi. Like I'm all
Oh,
of
there
the
you go. There you
sorcerers, you
go.
know me, I'm all magic.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Excellent.
Honestly, there's so much to unpack from this Mortal Kombat 1 news. Assist mechanic with cameo fighters, September 2020 release, August beta, PS5, Xbox Switch, rollback netcode, of course. Story directly follows MK11. Sounds so interesting, can't wait to see more.
Yeah, there you go. Uh, I think I have a theory as to when we might see more, when we might get the next big update on this.
Oh
I'm
yeah?
thinking, I'm thinking June 30th, the 30th anniversary of Mortal Kombat 2.
Ooh,
Maybe,
okay. Okay.
maybe a few days prior. Is it Ed Boon's birthday? I'm not
Ed
sure.
Boon's birthday.
When is his birthday here? I think I'd have that memorized. Oh boy. No, excuse me. Ed Boon's birthday was already passed, February 22nd.
Ah.
Yeah, MK2, 1993. I do believe that was. Well, now I'm seeing April 93. What made me think June? Was that. I'm seeing November 93. Which is it? Something made me think June 93 was when it came out. Maybe when it came out by me or something like that. But no, I feel like there was something else.
Croaky
Oh,
says, I also want Taven and Dagon back, considering the fact that Dagon woke up way before Taven.
revisit that story right there. Yeah,
Hmm.
see what they might have been up to. Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Taven and Dagon had an interesting story there for Armageddon. Uh-huh. You
Oh,
see any of the dragons back too, like Orin and Karo, maybe?
yes. I wanted MK11 to have Kano's son as a playable character mentioned in his MKX ending, to be honest. Oh, yeah. I forgot actually the ending mentioned the son.
Huh. Oh, now I'm seeing June 25th. Maybe that's what I was thinking. June 25th, 1993. I'm
Ooh.
seeing like multiple dates here, but June 25th, 1993 is the date I'm seeing here, and that's where I probably ingrained it into my mind that's around the time when I did see it in the arcades too, I think.
Yeah.
Um, did thereabouts. I would say late June or something like that, coinciding with because this year being the 30th anniversary of MK2, and I'm seeing a couple of spots for June right there. I'm thinking that's probably when we might get the next big reveal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What else have we got here? Croaky, they realized that they were shot in Shiroryu staff. Sorry, short in the Shiroryu staff, so they just shoved Scorpion into the Lin Kuei.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I think they can show it either
Can't beat him, join him.
the PlayStation Showcase coming up this week or in June Summer Game Fest, which is June 8th. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's either of them or else, as far as I know, it's either Evo or Combo Breaker on as well at some stage soon because we're 4 months in, so we need to have a good bit of juicy data before the August beta. So they want to get people like starved during the August beta to pre-order and stuff. So I'd imagine the next 2 months now are going to be we're going to be showing a lot, I'd say.
Yeah. Seems like that. Yeah, it seems like they're doing pretty good with it so far. I mean, I don't know how far along they are with the game, but what they came up with in terms of cinematic footage here is fantastic. Because I was worried earlier in the year when we found out the way that we did that the next MK12 we thought was going to be coming out later this year, and it wasn't some big official announcement. It was because somebody overheard Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav talking about it on a conference call to where it was like, oh, by the way, Mortal Kombat 12 is coming out this year. I thought we were gonna. I was afraid that NetherRealm Studios were gonna find themselves in an Alien 3 kind of a situation where, oh, it is. Okay, I guess we better get to work then. Like that. It's like, uh-oh. Hope we didn't catch them off guard with that. But if this is what they come up with so far, well, cool. I guess they're trending on the right direction.
Boss Dooley said Street Fighter will be PlayStation, Summer Games Festival will be MK.
Oh,
wait, Street Fighter will be. Oh, Street Fighter will be on the PlayStation Showcase, and Summer Games Festival will probably be Mortal Kombat. Probably makes a little bit more sense. I think Street Fighter is coming out soon, in the next couple of months. I think so. Yeah, that would probably make a little bit more sense, I'd say.
Yeah, there you go. Everybody gets to have their moment there. Cool.
Right. Well, have we touched on everything in Mortal Kombat 1? Everything that we kind of really know of, anyway, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so. We talked about what we saw in the trailer. We talked about like our own personal thoughts of what we would like to see, what we wouldn't like to see, and things like that. I'm excited to see what the new game modes would be, also.
Ooh, actually, what arenas would you like to see come back?
Oh yeah. Let's see. Arenas there. Well, looks like they it looks like they are focusing on like a very open open land kind of stuff right here, and then you got the places like this. It looks like they're going back to their roots that they had in MK1, where it was very Shaolin inspired and such. So maybe I don't know if you consider it a return to bring it back to the game, but in a different context, I guess. Maybe something like a combat temple, like how we had in MK3, where you were fighting inside that cathedral right there, that church. That would be pretty cool to see. I always loved the music they played in that one too. They did bring it back for MK9, but it was a much more gloomy looking combat temple, I would say. But the one MK3 was very bright and vibrant, and I think that would be a good aesthetic for what they're going with this that type of a temple design. I wouldn't mind if they. Well, I guess we would see the Wuxi Academy as well. We'd probably see the Wuxi fighting grounds like we saw in the 3D era. I could see that making a comeback.
I'd love to see a reimagined warrior shrine, like the way they've got Fire God Liu Kang now and all that sort of stuff. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Maybe the Great Kung Lao would occupy the center space where we're used to seeing Goro's statue stand. That could be possible. Yeah, that'd be pretty neat to see. Other arenas, like ones that we've seen before. I guess I guess if you wanted to go into like the more Western settings, we could see returns of things like the city rooftops and the subway and stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool. I wonder if they'll set that portion of it in New York City once again. That'd be great.
Rocky says bring back the falling cliffs from Deception and stage transitions.
Oh yes, the falling cliffs. I remember those. Yeah, and the transitions too. I could see them doing the transitions. I'm sure they're going to give us more stage fatalities and things because Ed Boon made a point of tweeting about how the mechanics that went into the pit in MK10, I believe it was MKX, were really well done. And I even noted that the way the character kind of bumps into the pillars and pinballs off of the pillars there before hitting the spikes at the bottom. Kind of like very similar to how the mechanics for the level transitions worked in the Injustice games, which they had just made the first one beforehand. So it's like, okay, take what you learned from that and apply it to this game right here. So it's like, oh, there you go. So yeah, level transitions would be fun to see, maybe Injustice style right there. And yeah, the falling cliffs. I remember that stage fatality. What was my favorite one from Deception? Was it the prison there where the
Spike was?
Prison where
The spike
Yeah, the
walls.
walls, right, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the crushing walls there, yeah. That was a good one. The Sky Temple one was good too. You knock Havoc off of the roof and you hear him go, "Oh, this is gonna suck." Like that. That was great. um, yeah. One of those things, yeah, you could start the match, round one fight, and then you step back and like 3 seconds in, up there you go already off the side. Goodbye.
And then you're back for round two.
Yeah, just like that. About seeing a return of sorts of the MK2 pit, complete with the camera angle change and everything.
Mm.
That would be pretty cool to see.
Or even like the
That'd be
first, or even like, well, actually, sorry, yeah. No, the first bit was spikes. Second bit, yes, the way it just like, and then they slam into the concrete at the bottom and all as well.
Right. There weren't any spikes or rotating blades or anything. It was just the impact of the hard concrete, unforgivingly stiff ground at the bottom would be what would finish them off, I guess. The camera,
Exactly.
the camera angle change right there to where you're above them. That's what made it really hip. That's what really made it cool.
One of my favorite funsies was uppercutting someone into the giant ball or bell in the bell tower in Armageddon. Oh yeah, I was like doing, doing.
Yeah. I remember me and my friend Mario used to, we would take turns doing that. It's like, hey, there's something at the top of the bell. Really? Let's see. Bong. Oh, I didn't see it. Here, you try. Bong. Like that. It was up there? Yeah, I don't believe you. Bong.
Yeah, hopefully this transitions and all will go back anyway. So, I think we've covered everything. Does anyone in the chat have anything that you would like us to talk about before we finish up or anything? Or is everyone kind of Mortal Kombat out right now at the moment?
Yeah. We
Daniel,
still have time to talk about the other games? Or?
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, like I keep coughing and stuff like that. Is it alright with you if we do it another night?
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. If you want to just keep this one germane to the new game, fine by me. No problem.
Yeah, and what I'll do is I'll upload our first interview this weekend, and then I'll upload our this MK12 interview next week, because I'm off next week, so...
Oh, fantastic. All right.
And then once we get our third video in with the talking of the games and all, that'd be perfect, like...
Outstanding.
Yes, do a little dance to the MK theme.
What was that?
This is like, do a little dance to the Mortal Kombat theme.
All right. I'll do the Cyrax dance for you there. There you go.
I'll just do the I'll do the robot, you know.
Yeah, there you are. Sonya dance there.
So, Mortal Kombat 1 is the official title for the next game. Literally for 4 months away, September 19th. Shang Tsung being the pre-order exclusive. Looking phenomenal. You can see the jump, obviously, from Unreal. They were on Unreal 3, weren't they? And did they jump to Unreal 5 or was it Unreal 4? Because this kind of looks like... I don't know if you've seen Darko Subton's YouTube video of him recreating the MK4 endings. Kind of looks like this. Kind of looks like that, really.
No, I didn't see that one. I would love to
you should definitely check them out. Oh, yeah, he's recreating the MK4 endings. They look phenomenal in, like, today's day and age. You know, sort of way. Do you want to actually look at some of them now?
Sure, yeah, I'm down.
Let's see, it's
Kratos.
Darko. Yeah, I know, right? I think it says something. There he is. So
I like that color you have for your tabs there. Really nice. That's a good red there.
Thank you. It's it's part of it's a theme for Google. So like I've got the God of War theme on. So that's like the like yeah.
That's pretty rad. That's really cool.
So he's got Scorpion, Sonya, Quan Chi, Tanya, Sub-Zero, Jax. This is just the Katana bio rendered. And then the Melina and Kitana ending. So which one would you like to watch?
Let's go with Sub-Zero's remade there.
Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
It's truly phenomenal. You should definitely check out the majority of them. And we're still waiting on him to bring it. He said he's going to do more anyway. Let me know if you can hear the sound and all. So the sound's not on yet, but it should be on now. You can hear that yet?
I hear it.
God.
Oh, very good. Okay. Picking up from an earlier spot, it looks like. He hasn't Not standing over Scorpion just yet.
Not just yet.
Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Sub-Zero. Vengeance will be mine.
Good, we're getting the whole fight sequence.
Yeah.
Building up, I love it.
Oh, now, here it is. He uses the old audio.
The battle is finished. Your quest for vengeance is over, Scorpion.
You cannot kill a dead man. You have defeated my physical form, but my soul is eternal. You will pay for the massacre of my clan and family.
Well done, Sub-Zero. Like your brother before you, you have served my purposes well.
I serve no one, not the Lin Kuei, and not you.
Oh.
Scorpion agreed to fight for us in exchange for freedom from the Netherrealm. A deal I had no intention of fulfilling. By killing him, you saved us the trouble. Both you and Scorpion were pawns for Shinnok. Scorpion!
Oh, shit!
Right on, coming up.
Oh.
Our battle is finished. You are now freed from my curse. Live well, Lin Kuei warrior.
Alright.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Very good. Very
I know,
good.
right?
I like that he had the charred, grizzled-looking effect to Quan Chi's head right there. That was a nice touch. I love the fight beforehand, and I loved how Sub-Zero knocked Scorpion down with the same kick that Liu Kang used in the first movie when he fought the first opponent. Did you notice that? That was really good.
Yeah.
Good detail there. Sub-Zero, spoke in a more, the way he, his gesturing and stuff, it was more natural. He didn't look like he was just going like that. The battle is finished, like that. I'm
battle is
finished.
finished.
Egyptian dance while I'm talking to you right now. Yeah, that was really good. Well done. What's his name?
Darko Subotan.
Darko Subotan. Okay, all right, I'll look him up for sure.
Yeah, it's been like this
Darko?
one. It's been actually. Oh wow, it's been actually 2 years since he's done it. 3 years. Holy shit! It's crazy.
How have I not seen them up to this point? Holy cow! I'm usually on the ball with these things there, but no, it's the first time I'm seeing them. Huh.
Yeah, it kind of snuck in. I think I did a video on reacting to a few of them, and I think Uncaged Games and all did a reaction to a few of them as well. But it's been 3 months since he did this one. Anyway, this one I think is probably his best one so far. And
Nice.
obviously just,
endings. Cool.
yeah. Do you want to watch one more before we go, or what do you think?
Sure. Yeah, you pick this time.
I love the Quan Chi ending, so we'll watch Quan Chi ending. So,
All right, let's
it's
do it.
very good, and then you can watch the rest yourself.
Excellent. Yeah, no problem there. That's another thing I noticed about the trailer. Of course, Sub-Zero gets wiped out, but at least it wasn't by Scorpion this time.
As payment for your loyal services, Quan Chi, I grant you the gift of your existence. My existence? Understand, sorcerer. I consume all energies, including the life forces of all that live, but I shall spare you. If it weren't for me, you would still be a tortured soul, rotting in the pits of the Netherrealm. You dare question me? I do more than question you, Shinnok. I challenge you. Then you shall die. What? Your powers are useless against me. How can this be? I am in possession of your once sacred amulet. Years ago, I delivered to you an exact duplicate, while I retained the original. I even fooled Raiden. Now I am ruler supreme. And you, Elder God, are finished!
Oh, fatality.
All right.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, I always like that ending too. That was a great way to tie it into the events of mythologies as well. Really well done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A
I love
special
the
shout
detail.
out. Pardon?
I was gonna say I love the detail that Darko here puts into it. There, the articulation. You see the detail, like, and you see Shinnok's eyes widen when he realizes, "Oh, my powers aren't going to work on him," and stuff. Little things like that. Very good, very good attention to detail he has here.
Absolutely. Like, I'm learning Unreal Engine at the moment, so because obviously I want to make a game now come there at the end of the year and stuff like that. But like, if I'm able to make something like that now, that'd be really cool. Like, I wouldn't mind like trying to recreate like other endings and stuff like that to bring them into the modern day. You know what I mean? Like, even
Yeah, sure.
like try and actually make a proper like videoized version of, let's say, some of the Deception endings or Deadly Alliance endings or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be really cool if you were
Yeah.
able to get like a model of Moloch and Draman having fight Scorpion and then throw him into the tornado and stuff like that. Like, that'd be pretty
Yes.
cool.
That would be amazing to see, yeah, because MK4 is the only place where we really got to see, cinematic endings where there was no narration. They just let the action and the dialogue do the talking for you.
Mm.
But yeah, to see that applied, that concept applied to, like what you were saying right there. Oh, I would definitely be down for that.
Mm.
Let me know how
Uh,
you come along with that there. I'd love to check it out when it's ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, more or less enough. The cheesiness, I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Mortal Kombat 4 was probably the best with the cheesiness in terms of audio design and stuff like that. Like, even some
Yeah.
of the like the and stuff like that. It's so funny.
Some of the best combat gibberish I think I've ever heard. Even when Quan Chi's about to do his leg pull fatality, the opponent goes like, everybody sounds like Curly there.
Right? Do you have anything you want to add just before we go, or are you all good?
Just before we go, well, I'm just glad that the day is here, that we get to see some new Mortal Kombat news. I've always prided myself on being very patient and such. I was like, well, when they're ready to announce something, they will announce it there. And I think that I think the wait definitely paid off in this case because I was very pleased with what I saw, and I'm very happy that Ed Boon and crew are on the ball with going back into the franchise that they love and that we all love. And like I said, I especially love the fact that it's coming out the day right before my birthday. Although if I do get the premium edition, I guess that means I'll have access to it the week before my birthday, and by the time the day comes, I'll be I'll be playing the game in one hand and eating birthday cake in the other hand right there. It's gonna be great.
That's it, exactly. And I'm excited to see more. I can't wait to see what is in store, what kind of fatalities we'll see, what kind of game modes we'll see, what the whole cameo things is all about. And I really feel we kind of have it nailed a little bit, that it's going to be various characters within the universe that you would never really kind of like see in the actual rosters, like King Gorbak or maybe a Shaolin monk or something like that. You know what I mean? Maybe even instead of maybe if they're bringing Smoke back, maybe the cameo could have been in Enra or something like that. You know what I mean? If they wanted to include that sort of thing and all as well, remains to be seen anyway. Like, fingers crossed. Yeah, Smoke comes back, because Smoke hasn't been in the game now since MK9. They were in the story of MKX, but like they weren't really properly playable in a way. Noob was.
Right. Noob was, yeah. Noob certainly
was.
was there. Yep. Watch the cameos end up being the Mortal Kombat characters send you a cameo greeting like, "Hello, Arcane Pain. This is Quan Chi. Thank you for being a supporter of mine for so long. Keep with the flawlessness in all the magic you do." Or something like that. Like, holy cow, that'd actually be kind of cool. I could get a cameo from Liu Kang? Why, I'm most honored, oh fire god. All right.
And I guess the last thing I'd probably leave before we leave is I've thrown up the announcement now on a video, but I'll actually put up a proper text announcement on Twitter. My next animation is pretty much in the works right now. We have it We have the logo, which I will show off to everybody on stream right now, and I'll let you see it now
boy.
as well. We're calling it Campfire Tales, and that's Campfire with a K,
Ooh,
of course.
I like it already.
Me and Croaky are going to be working on it, and this
Okay.
is the logo here.
Oh, look at that!
Now
Wow.
this wasn't done by me. Now this was done by a friend of mine on the Discord server. Our cameras are after freezing again.
Are they?
Yeah. Hang on, I
Oh.
think will that fix it? Okay, your camera's
Oh.
frozen again. Hang on, let me
Oh man.
and
Zero.
yeah, there you go. I got you.
Okay, there we go.
Right. So
Oh.
basically the premise is basically right. We have 3 characters in each episode. They'll be around a campfire, and they'll be telling various ghost stories. And one
Oh.
particular character of those 3 is going to say that the ghost story in question is bullshit. I don't believe it. It's stupid. No, it's not. It's never going to happen to me in a million years' time. And then that particular ghost story is going to happen to that character. So that's why you see up the top there, you've got the T-Rex, you've got Jason, and you've got Cthulhu. So, like, one of the campfire stories could be like, have you heard of this island? Apparently it's inhabited all by dinosaurs and this, that, and the other. And then, like, they just find themselves waking up after a long night out in a random island, and then the T-Rex comes and eats them, basically, and kills them. And then the T-Rex runs off.
Oh,
So-
wow, that sounds exciting. That sounds really spooky.
So that's literally
Yeah.
the premise of this. So I'm imagining like 10 episodes of series, and I'm kind of hoping to do something whereas in like maybe something might kind of coincide with another or something like that. You know, the little cleverness of stuff that people have done in the past with their animations and all. Or else it could come to a time where if we're about to run out of characters, we'll bring Chronica in and she does something with the time and everything goes back and everyone's alive and all that sort of stuff again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good. Have a little fun with it there. There you go.
That's it. So we've got, I'm hoping to try and get the first episode out, or at least done, by, what time's that? It's June, July, start of August, really, to be honest.
Okay.
Or at least,
Start of August.
ready to go, anyway. We all know how bad I procrastinate. It took me 3 years to do the last animation. So
we've all had a lot more time since the start of the decade here, so I guess it ended up working in your favor in this case.
yeah. So that's why I just decided to put in, like, I asked him to put in random people around the campfire. So we've got Doom Guy, Ryu, Dante, Jill, Scorpion, and of course Big Boss Solid Snake himself.
Nice.
And then of course we've got
I wasn't sure, was that Samus or was that Doom Guy, or that was Doom Guy though?
That's Doom Guy, yeah, Doom Guy.
Okay.
So yeah, that's
Very cool.
that is the plan. Hey Ash, you kind of caught us as we're leaving, but I'm good. I hope you're well. But yeah, that is the premise for my next animation, or my series of animations anyway. Campfire Tale. So we'll be looking for lots of voice actors. So Daniel, if you'd like to voice act someone, you can. And
will you? Interesting. Okay.
and of course we'll be swapping ghost stories by the fire soon enough, hopefully.
I give you a demonstration. Awesome. Yeah, definitely. I'd love to talk with you about that. Sure.
Yeah, basically the window's open for a lot of people to come and join. To be honest, I was kind of even thinking about setting up a Patreon, because I'd love to actually kind of do this more full time. You know what I mean? And if I'm able to, like, kind of bash these out a lot faster and stuff, because obviously you have to work, like, do you know what I mean? But like, if we've got enough interest and stuff like that, Patreon wise, I could do it full time and stuff, and just keep bashing them out every couple of weeks or something. Really, you know.
Excellent. Yeah. I know about Patreon. I've never used it myself there, so I don't know like all the ins and outs of it. But if it sounds like a good way to go, then yeah, see what you could find out and do what you can.
Yeah, it's still in the maybe part anyway. We'll see how it goes, regardless. Anyway, you can't just leave. You can't just leave me. Well, I mean, We've been on for like 2 hours and 10 minutes. Where the hell were you?
Who is that?
It's Atomic Ash.
Atomic Ash. Oh, okay.
A very good
Lovely.
friend. A very good BFF.
All right, excellent.
But guys, yes, that is Mortal Kombat 1. And thank you, Daniel, for coming on and chatting. I know we were going to talk about the other games as well, but like obviously my body is hating me right now. But hopefully we can get you back on soon enough, and we'll be able to continue on our chat about the other Mortal Kombat games and be able to talk about them and all as well, with the various questions and stuff we have prepared and all. And do you want to tell the people where they can find you and all?
Absolutely, sure. So, yes, you can find me on Twitter at Daniel W. Clark DWC. You can also find me on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/Daniel William Clark. That's Clark, no E, like Clark Kent was a. Yeah, most of the time I use those. So those are my main go-tos right there for social media and things. And yeah, I love to talk about all kinds of things Mortal Kombat related and even other video games and stuff. Retro games are my jam, but I like to talk about modern games too. Movies, comic books, cartoons, just everyday stuff and things like that. And yeah, come on by, let's chat.
Jihan goes from
hang on. Something's playing in the
capturing a map of elements to defeating
something's playing in the
four
background.
elemental gods.
Oh,
to
Someone used the thing.
taking down an elder god.
so you use a sound alert there, is that? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorcerer
That was,
follower.
gonna come about, a little Chekhov's gun thing
Fighting
for
his
you
way
over there,
through
so to
a
speak.
tournament.
It's alright, I can hear you
for
talking like I think you're
Showtime.
playing Mortal Kombat
Taking
or
on a
something.
shape-shifting
Right now.
sorcerer.
Okay.
Man, oh
Yes,
man.
I play a lot of games.
If only Bihan could have written my
retro variety,
autobiography.
especially Mortal Kombat, and
That'd be one
love to
heck of
talk
a
about
read.
it as well.
Hang on.
Chatting.
You might have to say that all over again because there was something going over your voice there.
Oh, which part? Where did it start about?
Pretty much when you said after you said you could find it at Daniel William Clark.
Oh, really? That far back? Holy cow!
It was a long.
Okay,
It seemed to be a long clip for some reason. It's all right, Ash. It's all right. You were
Okay.
Ash was giving you a shout out, but like I have a thing set up that when someone gives you a shout out, it basically plays your clip and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you for the shout out there, Ash. I appreciate it there. All right. So understandable. Yeah, the clip, the Twitch Guru or so came up there. All right.
Yeah. Sorry, that was my bad. I thought I turned it off.
No problem. All good. So as I was saying. Oh. Okay. As I was saying, yes, twitch.tv/Daniel William Clark. I play a lot of retro games like Mortal Kombat, the classics, as well as the modern Mortal Kombat games. I play everything from like Star Wars, Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, Mega Man, Mario, you name it, and I play it wrestling games too. I play some modern games as well. I actually just did a Fall Guys stream last week, and it went over very well. We played Marbles on stream, great multiplayer game, free to play. Everyone can get in on the fun. And I have a Twitter as well, Twitter at Daniel W. Clark DWC. And I like to talk about all kinds of things on there, video games, wrestling, movies, cartoons, comic books, just everyday stuff. But yeah, come on, drop on by and say hi, and I'd love to meet you. I'd love to chat with you. There you go.
Marbles are great crack. I'm actually thinking about getting out into that myself. It looks very fun,
You
and the way you
should,
can get
yeah.
everyone getting into it and all as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It really is. It really is cool.
But right now we're working on it and trying to get that Mortal Kombat tournament thing going. I have like a funny thing in the works, and if it pays off, we can probably be able to do more of that. But then at the moment, yeah, we could probably do more marbles or something at some stage. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Fantastic. All right. Marble Combat. There you go.
Marble Kombat.
The fate of the realm shall be decided by he or she who can possess the greatest skill in the field of tilting. As one of the Mo's is.
Right, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I want to thank Daniel for popping on. We're talking all things Mortal Kombat 1. We were meant to talk about all the other games as well, because right now we're doing a history of sorts of Mortal Kombat of all the past 30 years. We've talked about the movies, we've talked about the cartoons, we've talked about merch and all that sort of stuff. We were going to go over the games today, but my body's being a dick right now and doesn't like me. So we talked about Mortal Kombat 1 because today is the day we all found out Mortal Kombat 1 was a thing, and we're going to be blessed with it within 4 months' time. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I cannot wait to see more of it. You guys obviously make sure you guys tune in to the Arcane Pain on YouTube, where we're going to have all sorts of Mortal Kombat footage and stuff like that, and hopefully we'll keep going with Mortal Kombat here. But so for now, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, Daniel, for popping on, and we shall see you all in the next video. Bye!
Bye.